Hello, everyone. Welcome to It's Sybil. I am Sybil Wilkes. And yes, the gang is all here again. Hello, Chris Paul. How are you?
What up?
You. Coy Malone, how you doing?
Hey, I'm pretty good. How's everybody doing today?
And Mr. Lowdown?
How are you, Sybil?
You seem a little subdued after your mega weekend of shows, Mother's Day shows.
Yeah, shout out to Mike Brooks and Sean Miller for having me at the Blue Dolphin. Respect.
Okay, I'm gonna need a little bit more energy from that guy. But did you all have a good weekend? Was it so crazy weekend that you lost your voice, Huggy?
Yes, I lost my voice, Sybil. Sound like shot. That's Huggy's. I want to send some love to all the baby mamas out there.
Right.
That's that voice right there.
That's what it does sound like. Like the lights are down. He's about to do his, quiet storm show.
Really, y'all? Really? What's up? What's up, Sybil?
This last song I'm going to perform, I dedicate to all the baby mamas. It's from a rap artist known as Akinelli, and it's called.
He's going to hell, y'all.
This song will keep you from being a baby mama again.
Oh my God. You want to know what's funny? I know Akinelli in real life.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah.
Just
before or after that he wrote the song.
No, after. To my defense, he owned the club that I work for. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's right. I read something. He's a big businessman.
Yeah. He is.
Successful.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So successful that you don't work for him anymore?
Well, no, I retired, Sybil.
Oh. But when the call comes.
From the club.
When the call comes. Okay.
I'm here with you all.
I'm just saying.
But just for future reference, the next serious relationship you're in, keep that to yourself.
Too late.
Keep that.
How many fellas in the past have known about this business relationship?
Oh, well, Akinelli, no, he's just the owner of the club.
I know, but I'm just asking how many past fellas have known about your working for Akinelli.
It's only been 2, so yeah.
Okay. Only 2. So Chris, how was Mother's Day?
It was good. We had a great brunch. My daughter was drinking mimosas.
All right. Is that 21 and over mimosas or Shirley Temple?
She's 20, but
okay.
She said she was feeling it, so
she reaches out to the finish line there.
The first time my daughter had a drink in front of me when she turned 21, I just knew she was going to order like a Zinfandel or some type of Riesling.
How hard did she go?
She said, "Excuse me, can I get a Patron margarita with sugar around the rim?" I'm like, "What the?" I'm like, "Your ass been drinking."
No surprise there.
Yeah. Huggy, the first time I was around your daughter, and she had to be like 23, I couldn't believe she was drinking. Me and my wife were at a bar in D.C., and Huggy's sister swung through and brought Huggy's daughter with her. She's at the bar ordering stuff. I'm like, whoa, you can't drink.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm 23, Uncle Chris.
On Cookie Lion.
I'm gonna follow on Cookie on the ship. Just see what goes on there. What goes on there? Well, I hope did you have a good Mother's Day there, Coy, with your mom?
I had a great Mother's Day. I guess I worked.
Okay.
No,
but we stayed on the phone for a long time. No.
Well, at least now that Akinelli's club, at least you all connected by phone.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
No, Akinelli had Mary J. Blige at his club for Mother's Day. So yeah.
Really?
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Monet Tejada, Mary.
Yes.
Yesterday's price ain't today's price, Mary.
Oh, wow. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Let's move to the What You Need to Know newsletter. This is our newsletter that we put out every Monday through Friday. It is absolutely free. It is called What You Need to Know, and we would love to have you subscribe. Please go to SybilWilkes.com, sign up, give us your name and your email address. We'll have it in your email box every Monday through Friday, and we cover a range of topics, including politics and health health and wellness, mental health and wellness.
Just a hodgepodge.
Yeah, right. HBCU
jambalaya.
corner, a little known Black history fact. And Coy Malone is our social justice contributor. Coy, you give the whole story in the headline. I just want to know, will there be justice for Jordan Neely? Will there be justice for Jordan?
That's what we're looking for. We are really hoping so. So this is just a story that's just been unfolding over the last few weeks. And we first brought to you this story on May 8th about the former Michael Jackson impersonator, Jordan Neely, who was choked to death by a 24-year-old Marine veteran on a New York City subway as other passengers watched and another passenger filmed the deadly encounter. Now that all of these things have happened, with the protest that has happened, with a lot of coverage on social media as well as news media and outlets like ourselves, we now see that the person responsible for his death, which is now been named Daniel Penny, he's a 24-year-old who choked Jordan Neely to death. He surrendered to police, and now he is out on bail. He was released on a $100,000 bond that was authorized by a judge, who also ordered him to surrender his passport and ordered him not to leave New York without approval. Prosecutors are now seeking a grand jury indictment, and Penny is due back in court on July 17th. If he's convicted, he can face up to 15 years in prison.
They've already gotten the grand jury, right?
Yes, so they have the grand jury right now. They're waiting on the actual court date,
trial.
Which is, the trial, July 17th. So he is free now on bond. There are lawyers for Penny that are actually arguing that he acted in self-defense and saying that the situation that he's dealing with the situation in integrity and honor that is characteristic of who he is and characteristic of his honorable service in the United States Marine Corps. However, Dante Mills, one of the lawyers representing Neely's family, said that Mr. Neely didn't attack anyone. He didn't touch anyone. He didn't hit anyone, but he was choked to death.
Chris, we made the comparison when we first talked about this story, made the comparison to Bernhard Goetz, Bernard Goetz, whatever they called him, Bernie to his friends, who shot shot Black people on a subway train. Yeah, and they called him a vigilante, and he said he did it because he felt threatened. I don't know how this Marine makes that distinction. And says that he was threatened, and especially when people say he was yelling, he was telling people that he was hungry, that he was homeless. But for the most part, the people who are on the train and those that are fighting for justice for Jordan are saying that he did not pose any threat. Unless they can really prove that, then they've got a case. I think to charge, not only charge, but to find him guilty of manslaughter. Do you think that this will be the case?
Well, see, the only controversy in this entire case is the tone that was set right when it happened. Mm-hmm. When the tone was initially set by the NYPD and them as like treating him like a hero.
Right.
And that's the message that went out first. If he had been treated like he actually was, if the story was just a former soldier killed a person on the subway, that's the story would be told right now. Mm-hmm. But they made it first seem like he was protecting every single person on that car. People were in danger. Like I've seen constant tweets now that if he hadn't done it and Neely had ended up murdering people, how would we all feel?
Right.
He wasn't murdered. He wasn't hurting anybody else. So the fact that he was hailed as a hero, so now you've got America divided, where the right saying he's a hero and the left saying it's murder. So I don't know what this is going to do to the guy's case, but we know that once again, only when you are on the far right can murder make you a millionaire, because this guy has already raised $2 million in his GoFundMe.
And a legal defense fund for his GoFundMe, $2 million already.
From murder to millionaire.
So the Cal Rittenhouse Fund.
Right. And supported by people like the governor of Florida. Kid Rock is, coming and donating money. It does not feel as though the side of right and justice is going to be with Jordan and his family as they seek to get some justice out of this.
And as often is in cases involving race like this, just reverse the races.
Right.
Reverse the races, and let's see the public sentiment then. If a black former soldier who's black saw a homeless guy acting a little distraught on the subway and choked him to death, would he be seen as a hero by anybody?
Not at all.
Would he be free
and questioned by the police and let go?
Right,
right.
And have a $2 million legal defense.
And have that. And then there's that.
None of that.
No. Color, race will always play a part in this. I don't care. And disregarding the mental health of this young man, his homelessness or unhoused situation, it just breaks your heart. And that people recognized what he was going through, but they felt better about watching the life choked out of him than to somebody step in and say, okay, that's enough.
Right.
And let's get this guy, this kid some help.
Soledad O'Brien is catching hell on Twitter right now, and she's trending because of a tweet that she posted, basically arguing that if you look at both of the people involved here, it is the soldier who was actually the one who was demented. He has such a disregard for human, I'm paraphrasing, of course, but his disregard for human life made him more of a danger to commit murder than Neely.
Absolutely.
He was the one that was a ticking time bomb and could kill at any moment.
Because he was trained to do this. And so I don't know if you claim PTSD or what, Chris, but you do.
Sybil, if that was a white guy, come on, Sybil.
Oh, no, I'm saying the Marine himself was trained to do this.
But I'm saying
if the victim had been a white guy, would he have just said, okay, pat him on the back, let's go. We're good. We good?
Yeah.
No, he choked the life out of this boy.
But what Sybil's saying is important too, mentioning PTSD, because that's just he has various means of defense on this.
Oh yeah.
He's got the whole buffet of defenses in front of him he can choose from that will get him off.
Right.
Wow. All right, Coy. Your assignment. Stay on top of it. And
by the way, I'm having a hard time not calling you Sybil Jesse Raphael, by the way. I've been holding back on it, but I do like them.
Thank you, sir.
Respect.
Much respect to Sally Jesse today. One of the other things that we talk about in the newsletter is the year anniversary, if I can call it an anniversary. It's been 1 year since a self-proclaimed white supremacist teenager drove over 200 miles from his family's suburban New York State home into Buffalo, New York, where a grocery store in the hood, in the predominantly Black neighborhood on the east side of Buffalo, and did as he planned to do. That was to kill as many Black people as possible. And he succeeded in killing 10 of them, injuring 3 other people. And they are still suffering regarding looking back at this. And a new grocery store is in place. Tops Friendly came in and they put in a new grocery store. They have all the latest food items and accoutrement of a grocery store. But the people are still suffering in that community. And this was the first Mother's Day in which a group of people, will live are there without their mothers.
Wow.
It is a story that affected me then, and it affects me still today. And especially when you look back at, here in Texas, when you talk about a week before that, 8 people were killed at a shopping mall, and a white supremacist neo-Nazi lover went out and had done the same thing that the killer in Buffalo had done. He'd staked out the place, knew where was going to be a prime selection of people was there to kill people with. He went to the shopping mall with that. And now next week we're going to have the anniversary of the Uvalde school shooting.
And the Uvalde shooting.
Been that long?
And the Uvalde shooting always makes me think about the brother who was a security guard at the grocery store.
At the top, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Because he was a hero,
right? Unlike the police who were trained for this,
right?
Yes,
and had a full force there, a full arsenal, and plenty of backup. They just sat by, and this brother,
and he didn't
think.
He went
he didn't even think. He went right to it.
to do his job. He followed the fire.
Right.
This brother, whose job is basically to watch for shoplifters,
right?
Because nothing's supposed to jump off in a grocery store.
And the same thing with a young man, I believe he's being buried today, who was a security guard at the mall. That was his job, was to, stop shoplifting.
Right.
It wasn't, and the policeman that went right towards the gunfire and saw what was happening. That's what we're looking for in terms of stopping the madness and people doing their jobs. This Marine was not doing his job.
Mm-mm.
That was not his job, was to provide security on the subway and to kill someone who made him feel uncomfortable in some way. But these other people whose job it was died in action in trying to, and that gentleman was a retired police officer in Buffalo and was working there as security at the Tops Friendly Market. And we give all of their names. We remind people who they are and what they stood for, and we thank them for their service. Aaron Salter is the security guard's name, who was killed there at Buffalo, and ask that their memories be blessings and that they be forces for good in their memory. So and they've already worked out the deal for this kid. He's going to spend the rest of his life in prison. And he's not going to do what he did. It's not going to have done to him what he did to 10 people and that number growing exponentially, which is to kill.
How about the bystanders just standing around watching Jordan Neely and could have said something?
Somebody
could have prevented that.
Somebody. But here's the thing, and I often put myself in those situations, Huggy, and I was wondering, what would I say? Somebody had to say, hey man, that's enough, stop it.
Right.
Even the guys that are right there holding his feet down.
Right.
They didn't say anything until he stopped moving in the video. And I think that's what's going to be key in the case of actually getting him convicted of this charge, because the man clearly was lifeless. He had stopped moving, and then that's when they started telling him, hey, I think that's enough. He's not fighting back anymore. Like, they specifically said that in the video.
Which takes me back 3 years, Coy, to a corner in the Minneapolis street in which George Floyd was held down by a policeman, and people were saying, hey, he's not moving, and he held him there till his breathing ceased.
Now, will the other bystanders who were on the subway and aided in holding him down, will they be charged like the other police officers?
I haven't seen it, Coy. Have you?
I haven't seen anything about that. Most of the focus has been on the Marine. So
the hero Marine,
the vigilante. But I that was one of my that's one of my initial thoughts as well, is, are these people also at fault?
Mm-hmm.
Because to me, that is what, an accessory to murder? Is that what you would call it?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, they didn't start off as a mob. They were just people riding the subway. So it's safe to say that there are several people who are on that train who will never get a good night's sleep for the rest of their life, that they will be haunted by this for the rest of their lives, just because now they know they should have stepped in. They should have, would have. I mean, imagine not even raising your voice to say stop.
Right.
If you see something, they tell us, say something.
But in New York, there's so many things that happen on the train. People get assaulted, robbed, kidnapped, raped, and
they become numb to it, because that's every day for them.
Well, I have
in a chokehold.
And see him go limp and know that something is very wrong.
That's very
some of the other things that we have in the newsletter, as I mentioned, we do have medical updates, and that is thanks to the folks at Black Health Matters. Talk about dry eyes and how to stop that.
That's so crazy stuff, because our show was rubbing my eye all day. And when you said something about it earlier, when I heard the newsletter earlier, I was like, whoa.
Yep, and it's also Ministry Monday. Our friend Willie Mae McIver talks about the joy of the Lord and gives you a little scripture too. We always love that in the Monday issue of the What You Need to Know newsletter. So please go and subscribe if you don't already. We would love to have you. And so now, with that, gentlemen, let us move on and ask what's really going on. This is a fun question, I think, in terms of all of the other things that are going on in our world. I don't know if you have seen this, but
Hold on, Chris. You ain't gonna beat me, bro.
I don't know if you've seen this, but Martha Stewart was unveiled as a cover girl.
I heard, Sybil.
On what magazine, Huggy?
OnlyFans. I
No. I'm logging off. My eyes just got dry.
Is that what dried up on you?
Should make my eyes get dry.
Martha Stewart is on the cover of the Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue.
Really?
80-year-old Martha Stewart.
Octogenarian, Sybil.
And she looks good.
I heard, Sybil.
She looks good. She's on the cover, and not a bad look for you there, Martha. So our question is, all things being equal, if you could be on...
smash? Oh, no, you were going to say that, Sybil? I'm sorry, Sybil. I thought she was about to... Go ahead,
Close.
I saw her photo, but it was only from the waist up, so I couldn't see her breasts.
Right.
Because they're below her waist, Huggy. You see, they're sagging. They're sagging below her waist.
She could have had some better support. She could have had some better support.
Really?
Yeah, they're hanging. Their
airbags was in the pool. So.
Yeah.
Martha,
Snoop and Droop.
Is that what they're called?
Yeah.
That's what the girls are called?
They was hanging so low, they was in a pair of Skechers, Sybil.
Do your ears hang low? Do you tie them? So she's on the cover of Sports Illustrated. She's a cover girl on the swimsuit magazine. So all things being equal, if whatever the magazine, what magazine, and you can go wherever you want to go, guys. What magazine would you like to be on the cover? And some of them may not even be in print anymore. For all intents and purposes, a lot of magazines are now online only. And remember the great days where people were on or in Jet magazine. We don't see Jets anymore, and we don't get those coming to the house, or Ebony magazine, or Right On magazine, or any of these magazines. Time magazine still has their person of the year kind of thing. What magazine would you all like to be on the cover of?
Well, I don't want to be on the cover of Jet, but I like to be on the page opposite the Jet Beauty. So when you close it, I'm knocking the staples out. You know what I'm saying? I'm knocking the staples out.
I bet you are knocking them little staples out.
Say again, Huggy.
I bet he is knocking them little staples out.
Oh, who would have thought that a singer from the Fifth Dimension would be a photographer who would put himself in that position to photograph all the beauties, Jet beauties of the week. Lamont Dozier. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Just an incredible gig. What a great gig. Oh, you would you like to be in my magazine? And a great pickup line.
Killing it in the nightclubs.
Okay.
He was getting the draws, bro. He was getting to it.
I know.
Coy, were you a magazine fan?
Yes, I was. And you named the two that I was thinking about, Jet and Ebony. Vogue would be another one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's a good one. And Huggy?
I don't even know, Sybil.
Huggy, I see you as a GQ man.
Okay, I could do that. You remember they used to have one brother back in the day.
Right.
Brother.
Right.
Thick mustache and one brother.
Yep, that was it. That was it. The
problem with GQ is you get a GQ magazine and they have some cool cat on the front, and you go through it, and you know how they list in the little columns what he's wearing. Mm-hmm. everything is like $3,000.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. I want the knockoff. I want the knockoff
Like,
page,
bro, what are we
Chris.
supposed to do with that?
Right. Yeah. Come on. Not on my budget.
Right.
But I do
You
like
be making your own Pierre Cardin Dickies.
What's that joint Theo had on?
Right. That's
Gordon
exactly what I was thinking about. From the Cosby
Gartrell.
Show. The Gordon Gartrell or something like that. So
Meanwhile, Bill Cosby walking around, I'm a photographer for Joke Magazine.
have a drink. To loosen you up. Yeah. I'm sorry. We would love to hear from people. Let us know what magazine was your favorite or would you like to have been on the cover. And like Martha Stewart, God bless her. I just think that it was not, to be honest with you, she really could have used the support ladies at Nordstrom's lingerie department to kind of lift the girls up a little bit. But she looks good.
In the basement, Sybil.
That's a Nordstrom rack.
Bravo. Well done, sir.
Well done.
Very well done.
Well done. Walked into a booby trap.
What about Right On? What about Right On magazine, Coy?
I never knew about Right On.
Oh, Right On was before your time. Okay, you're
think
such
so.
an old soul.
What is the magazines they used to have back with like XXL and Fresh with the women? The women used to have bathing suits. It was for the younger crowd.
Oh,
what's the
What was
one?
it?
Blacktail?
Good God.
Yeah.
There was-
How come
Don't
you know
let
all the correctional
What's the one
facility
that-
magazines, bro?
The one that Benzino used to own.
Oh,
That's
Source?
Source. That's Source.
Yeah, the Source. There we go.
No, it was another one. I can't think of it.
Essence cover. Charlotte Bowen Bellamy on Facebook says she would like to be on the Essence cover. Now,
Okay.
Essence still has the physical magazine.
I love
that
the
comes
physical
out.
magazines, so I don't like digital. I'm from the old school.
I'm with you. Yeah.
I like
It's better for your eyes.
Well, that's true too. J. James Marshall Jr. I would like to be on the Jazz magazine.
Jazz magazines are good.
Yeah. What would be your instrument, Jay? I'm just curious. Jazz, or is your voice your
You
instrument?
didn't ask me that when I mentioned Blacktail.
The controversy.
Y'all act like y'all know Jazz Magazine. There ain't no such thing as Jazz
It
Magazine.
is.
There is.
Jazz Times, bro.
Jazz Magazine.
Jazz Times, bro.
There really is.
Yeah, it's called Jazz Times, bro.
When you know thumbs, you know Jazz Times. I would like to be on the Downbeat.
That's
Jazz
the same magazine you were talking about.
That was Chris. Yeah.
That's the same magazine.
Upbeat Downbeat.
That was Jeff Tubin's magazine right there.
And Epstein, the other
Epstein,
Jeff. Yeah. Aubrey Williams on YouTube. I would love to be in Black Enterprise magazine. Yeah, that's another good
Now
one.
you're talking.
Yeah. And Coy, you with a gazillion jobs, you could be on the cover of
Esquire. Esquire is good too.
I prefer Esquire. C.M. Williams says he prefers Esquire. Yeah, that's a good one too. Yeah, that's a classier. That's a classier.
We'll see if I make a cover of a magazine soon. Let me try. I'm digging my network, see what I can get done.
Well, we'll move on beyond Ebony and Jet for you. And
well, you do know people.
Oh,
Sister
Janae Brown,
sister.
sister.
I forgot about that one.
Oh, Jamie Foster Brown.
Jamie Foster Brown.
Yeah.
Bro, what's that magazine you always got every week that was talking about hustlers and
Oh, you're talking about Feds magazine.
Huggy had this magazine. All they did was cover the streets.
Feds magazine, Don Diva, all that.
They covered every known black gangster, hustler, kingpin. John Morant would be on the cover right now.
He said John Morant would be on the cover right now. That son of a gun.
Wow. Jamie Foster Brown is sister to sister. Charlotte Bowen Bellamy, the Right On magazine fashion department. Okay.
The problem being on the cover Right On is you don't know who else they're going to put on there. It was never just one person.
Well, it's always going to be a Jackson.
One person, then they put a couple people around you.
Right.
You know, what if you're on the cover and they put R. Kelly right up on top?
Oh my God.
trickle down.
No.
Trickle down.
You don't want that.
Oh, Gloria P. Scott, you're taking me back to 17
Speaking of R.
magazine.
That's what R. Kelly said. You want to be on 17.
Speaking of
You want
17.
to be on the front of 17.
It says 17 magazine, and our may still have
What
his
would be yours,
subscription.
Funkin' Wagnails?
I love the idea of
Remember
being.
that
I love the encyclopedic reference. I 17 was always my magazine essence, and you can't go wrong with a good jet cover.
I used to like to read National Geographic also.
For the pictures.
Yes.
By the way, shout out to all the people who bought a set of encyclopedias 2 days before the internet was created.
Chris, I was at home in Chicago and looking at stuff I need to get rid of. And I went into
those are so classic, bro.
All of the encyclopedia, the set of encyclopedia that my mother purchased for us. And I'm like, what are we going to where do old encyclopedias go to die?
Right. Yeah, my mom used to sell those, so we definitely had.
That was the internet. That was our internet. That and Spiegel was eBay.
Spiegel.
Remember Spiegel magazine?
Spiegel, yeah.
Check this out. Like this before the internet, I'm working with Donnie Simpson here in DC, and one day we're at work and there's long sets of music playing. So I just started talking about an idea I had because we're always arguing about sports statistics. And I'm like, what if there was a phone number and we had a bank of people working there with all the sports encyclopedias? So from any bar, any place you are, they would settle your sports argument. Like, you know, if I'm arguing who had more home runs, Babe Ruth or whoever, we call the number, it charges like $1.99 and the person gives you the answer. And they were like, man, that's brilliant. Donnie was actually like, man, we should get some people to invest in this. We would have lost our shirts.
You were the precursor to the internet.
We would have lost our shirts with that. We don't a bunch of people sitting around phones that never ring.
Hello? Oh, nobody.
To make it up, we'd have to change our phone service. Feeling lonely? Call me.
As we wrap up our question of the day, Martha Stewart just unveiled the magazine upon which she is the cover woman, Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Edition.
Is she the only cover woman? Because usually they
no, there's a number of them. Yeah, she's probably the oldest in history, but you know they. I think they go based upon demographics and other things. They send it to the people that they have the information. Can you imagine some 14-year-old kid wanting to get his swimsuit issue and ends up with Martha Stewart on the cover? Bless his heart.
But Sybil and Coy, y'all don't know this because you are women, but I can speak for Huggy and all the other men out there that whenever we pick up a magazine and there is a fine woman on the front, what do? We flip it over to see if there's a picture.
The back.
Right. It's the back of her behind it. Like, oh, damn cigarette ad.
Yeah. Do you remember when Tyra Banks
and then you got then you got the freaks that be
not a scratch and sniff. Not a scratch and sniff. Do you remember when Tyra Banks made history as the first woman of color to be on the swimsuit cover?
Yeah, Sports Illustrated.
Yeah. Sports Illustrated. Was that before your time too, Coy?
I don't particularly remember when that came out, but I remember
Tyra
that
Banks
happened.
was a famous model.
Mm-hmm. I know who she is. I definitely know who
you know who Akayeli is, though.
Okay.
Imagine if there was Twitter when
I couldn't help it. He was my manager at the club.
Tyra on the cover as the first black woman. Imagine if Twitter existed then. Imagine the hatred that would be on there.
Oh my gosh.
I said, imagine if so many things like that, the first black something, like the first black cover model for Sports Illustrated, Twitter would have been on fire with a bunch of racist people.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And just like with the Little Mermaid, Chris.
No goodness.
All of the hatred that's come out as a result of Halle being the first person of color in the live action Little Mermaid.
Right.
Go out and support that movie, by the way.
I mean, look at it. A couple years ago, they had the plus size model was on the cover.
Yeah, was it Ashley Graham?
Right. Yeah.
And then they found out she was dating a brother. So that was a double whammy. Then she had 2 babies by him. Double whammy.
Yep. There's a lot of hate. My goodness.
They was actually talking about replacing Halle with Honey Boo Boo.
Oh my gosh! All
They
right.
mad at her because she dating them brother too.
Well, yeah, and her mama, and
Honey Boo Boo's dating a brother?
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. Did you see, speaking of hate, and we'll talk about that, we'll move into trending. Speaking as we talk about current events and things that are happening right now and trending, Bill Gates' daughter, his
Dating a
youngest
brother.
daughter, is engaged
To a brother.
to a brother.
That's it.
And the hate that she has
They hate-
gotten,
oh, they
it's
hate.
like, all of the love, Bill Gates' daughter, and how this is all kind of, 180-degree turn for the hate that she's gotten online as a result of that. I don't know about Nikki Haley's daughter. She's married to it. She got married recently, and she married a black guy.
And remember John Boehner's something.
His son-in-law.
Son-in-law.
Yep, is a black Jamaican.
You know why Bill Gates' daughter's with a black man? Because it ain't micro and it ain't soft.
He's got 1 million of them, ladies and gentlemen. He's here all week. Speaking of which, do you guys have some dates coming up? You have appearances?
Yeah, we're going to be on the Adventure of the Seas.
Yes. We're gonna
Saturday,
be on a cruise.
The 20th through the 27th. The fantastic voyage is about to set sail. If you want to buy a cabin, you're too late.
Sorry.
You're not going to see Stevie Wonder. You're not going to see Lauryn Hill. We may not see Lauryn Hill either, but you're definitely not going to see Lauryn Hill.
And Stevie won't see it, and we might not see it.
Stevie, right?
Yeah, but we'll all be there.
Yeah, we will be there. Yeah, so I'm really excited.
Foxx won't be there, but we'll be there.
And I'm glad that I'll be seeing you guys in person.
That'll be Lauryn Hill's excuse. Why are you late, Lauren?
So, but you're gonna be
Stevie
there,
was
right?
driving.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Be there,
Yeah.
That's great.
I can't wait. I cannot wait to see you guys.
We're gonna have to order Chris some of them skid proof sketches after the genuine.
Has anybody seen Genuine since, or is he still down there?
I have not
He
seen
may
him.
still be down there.
The sign dude told me, I didn't sign up for this.
He's like. How was the weekend, Hug? How were things?
It was great. It was a whole lot of mothers up in that mother, Sybil.
A lot of mothers for you, huh?
Yes, it was a lot of love.
That's cool. That's cool.
We turned the blue dolphin seafood into the black porpoise.
Party with a porpoise.
You got me. You beat me to it. Hey, Coy, what about you? You got anything coming up?
Not yet.
I'm just wondering how this is going to affect the fall TV season and TV show. I know a lot of things have already been canceled as a result of the Writers Guild strike. I know the Tonys are not going to appear.
Oh, yeah.
They're not having the Tonys. I know last week it was the American Country Music Awards, I think. What was the other one? The entertainment show, Huggy, where they did not, they recorded and then it was not live. But a lot of shows and I love the Tony Awards. That's a gift.
I know that's your playbill. So
yeah, exactly.
And we had the P Valley. Actually, they've been renewed, I believe, for 3 seasons.
Wow.
However, there's been no announcement as far as when production starts for this year, rehearsals or anything like that. And I did just see that a couple of the persons with the cast and crew were out at the strike out in Hollywood. So there's no telling when we're going back into production.
Awful, man. Run them their money, man.
Yeah, one of the signs I saw that was very interesting that said, please don't make me go back to work. Don't make me go back to the strip club after working on P Valley.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's very interesting. Was that in Atlanta?
That was one of the signs out in Hollywood.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
What about Tyler Perry? He writes all of his own shows himself. Is he allowed to write, or he has to strike?
I'm not sure if he's a member of the Writers Guild. So
he would have to be. I would think.
I'm pretty sure he is.
I know that a lot of people were asking for special dispensations to do some of the live shows like the Tonys and the daytime Emmys. And shout out to our friend Sherry Shepard, who has been nominated, and her show been nominated for daytime Emmys.
Go Sherry.
But don't know if they will have a show. Not the Sherry Show, but whether they'll have the daytime Emmy Awards. Right. Because of the writer's strike. So it'll be interesting. Sherry is the writer for her show. So it'll be interesting. Jamie Foxx is not only out of the hospital, but he is reportedly, according to TMZ, his daughter, he's in Chicago at a rehab clinic, the rehabilitation center in Chicago. His family was seen in Chicago by his side, including his daughters, Corinne and Annalise. And so still the questions of what happened to Jamie, and if he was out there playing pickleball last week, as his daughter reported, and now he's in rehab. Did something happen in between, or was just the pickleball story not to be believed?
And Black Twitter don't believe any of that. Black Twitter is still like, if he's okay, how come he hasn't posted a video?
Right.
If he was fine, he would make a video and let us know he's fine.
Yeah, somebody would have took a picture of him playing pickleball.
for real. It's like, what's this Negro doing with a pickleball?
And they be like, black people don't play pickleball. What is pickleball? We throw pickle jars.
We drink pickle juice.
Okay.
Pickle eggs
on our feet.
For the people with he's they say that he has been at the rehab clinic in Chicago, which is one of the best in the country. He arrived at the facility in late April.
I heard that was one of the best. So they have their own Garrett's.
Yeah, they do. and Giordano's and
Illuminati, what is it?
Lumalnati's.
What's it? Is that the name of the piece?
Lumalnati's.
Yeah.
And Portillo's.
Portillo's.
I never went. I want to.
Oh my gosh, Chris, we got to get you to. I'm surprised they haven't had one in your neck of the woods yet, because Portillo's got bought, and so they're moving and they're providing chains all over the country. Another day, another shooting and another mass shooting. Multiple agencies are investigating after a shooter left several injured and multiple dead in Farmington, New Mexico. They say the shooter killed 3 civilians, injured 2 civilians during a shooting incident. They were injured with the Farmington Police Department and New Mexico State Police. They're being treated. Schools in the areas were put on lockdown, and they are all investigating the incident, including the ATF, the police, and state police department. New Mexico.
When's the last time you heard somebody say this is the greatest country in the world?
I've not heard that.
You used to hear it all the time.
Yeah.
You don't hear that knock up. I mean, we have other countries that have travel advisories against the United States.
Right. Wow. Yeah. Wow. That's how dangerous it is to be on the streets. Yeah. Because of our gun laws. You guys, is Ja Morant, is he okay?
I don't know, so.
He could face significant suspension to start off the next NBA season over his latest controversy. The Memphis Grizzly star could start next season without being on the team after another Instagram live video circulated that showed him holding what appeared to be a gun in a car. He was suspended. The All-Star guard was suspended by Memphis from all team activities, but it's not the only suspension he could be facing. They say he could be facing a significant suspension from the league, according to sports writers. I think Ja Morant is facing a lengthy, significant suspension to start the new season, if indeed there was a firearm in his hand. That is what somebody from ESPN said.
And I know firearms are legal in this country, but the NBA is a private company. Right. It is a private company.
And was that an open and carry? Open and carry?
In Tennessee, I'm not sure where he was.
It doesn't matter if it's open carry. You have to.
Your job.
You have to abide by your
right. And you already went through this a month or so and went to some 8-day stay in rehab, and
you got your head right,
and then you turn around and do it again. They're going to have to drop the hammer on him. I mean, Gilbert Arenas, everyone is using as the gauge. He got 50 games, I believe.
Wow.
Right.
So I mean,
meanwhile, Dylan Brooks is at the Bass Pro Shop in Memphis talking about, y'all got rid of me. I can't come back.
Right.
And Stephen A. Smith, I saw him. He hit it on the head with Ja Morant. The thing about Ja Morant is he keeps snitching on himself. The first time it was his Instagram with him holding a gun in a strip club, and this time it's his boys' Instagram live while they're riding around in the car. And by the way, I was reading all the facts about John Morant's legal troubles involving guns.
Mm.
Every single thing that's happened to him, this dude is involved.
Wow.
This guy was his boy every single time.
Wow.
I mean, this guy, his friend, has been banned from their arena for a year,
Right?
Because he got into an argument with the Indiana Pacers players,
Right.
followed them to their bus, and they were shooting lasers into their windows like had a scope on them and stuff.
Oh my God!
Watch the company that you keep. When you elevate to other levels, you can't take everybody with you.
Well, you know, that's a hard lesson for a lot of people to learn.
You
Coy,
just can't.
Whether you're in the NBA or you're,
Yeah.
you know, at Wharton Business School or whatever. You know, that is something that people compare how LeBron James has kept his crew together. But as he grew, they grew in responsibility
Yes,
and maturity as well.
Right.
Not everybody is that lucky.
Right.
And we don't know who LeBron had to kick to the curb either.
Right.
But the ones who are still with him, they all work with him. They all have a purpose in his life besides friendship, and they all know their responsibility. I mean, you've never heard of any of his friends getting arrested, or being in any trouble.
You don't hear anything from his wife either. She's not out in front and center. She's not.
And the only thing we hear now about the James family is his son's going to USC. So it's like,
and I don't want to single out LeBron James. You don't hear nothing about Steph Curry and his people.
Yeah.
You don't hear nothing about Kevin Durant and his people. You don't hear nothing about Joel Embiid, especially in a Game 7. You don't hear anything about Joel Embiid or James Harden.
Right.
But I'm like, all these players have found the right way to do it. I'm like,
yeah.
Don't know why this young boy can't do it. Maybe because his dad is partying too hard with him.
Well, then there's that. You know, you got to be careful of the company you keep, even if it's your family. Right. So check this out. Texas police seized a man's life savings, and now the state of Texas is putting his cash on trial. His name is Emil Woods. He was set off for Houston in May of 2019 to buy a second tractor in order to a tractor trailer to expand his trucking business. His family saved more than $40,000 to make the dream a reality. As he was driving through Harris County, wouldn't you know, red and blue lights flashed behind him. A sheriff's deputy accused him of following a truck too closely. The deputy didn't give him a ticket, but he did take all of his $40,000.
Wow, Sybil.
This week, the state of Texas is heading to court to make sure that Woods never gets his life savings back.
Wow.
If they ask you if you have money and you say if you have cash in there and then you say yes, they will find it. They'll say, give us your money, and then they'll take it.
Wow.
And so the deputy seized his money, known as civil asset forfeiture. It's meant to punish and deter criminal activity by depriving criminals of property. So they thought it was drug money, or they said they thought it was drug money. And critics say it's often abused by police and prosecutors and treats anyone who carries a large amount of money as guilty. They said the cash was...
They out here like pirates, Sybil.
Right.
That's exactly what they are.
Wow.
That's exactly what they are. And so the law, this is the law.
That's Texas.
I'm telling
Texas going Texas, Sybil.
Mm-hmm.
Texas going Texas.
Yeah.
And mercenaries with badges, Sybil.
Oh man. They got the license to steal. Under civil asset forfeiture, the seized cash is on trial. No criminal conviction is required. The government just has to prove that the property was linked to criminal activity. And so if he says, okay, I was going to buy a truck, and they say, we don't believe you, and you have to prove it, then he's got to spend another gazillion, tens of thousands of dollars for a lawyer who's going to help him get this back.
That's ridiculous.
And this is just the cases in the news. I mean,
right.
I'm sure they've done this thousands of times.
Yeah, this is a regular shift for them, bro.
Yeah,
they probably already spent that money.
Yeah. I mean,
it's gone. It's up in smoke.
They're doing it like the cartels or the police in a whole another country, you know.
2019, Coy, that money is so gone. Money is so gone.
Yeah, somebody done built a above ground pool in the back of their daggone.
not in ground.
Yeah, above ground.
Yes.
On the next episode of Snaps.
Okay. General Motors is recalling nearly 1 million vehicles because of faulty drivers' airbag inflators that could explode and injure or possibly kill the driver.
Dang.
Over 1 million 2014 to 17 Buick Enclave SUVs, the same year for the Chevrolet Traverse and the Acadia SUVs, GMC Acadia, in those same years, 2014 to 17.
Them older airbags never had that problem.
Yeah, they accidentally put them in the seat. when you hit somebody, it blows you right through the roof of the car.
They say that this can explode during deployment due to a manufacturing defect. And they say owners will be notified by letter starting June 21st. Wait for that letter if nothing happens to you before June 25th.
They got that thing in the easy bake oven. Just
Man, come on, just waiting.
What would be the reason for them to wait that long so they can avoid, mixing a lot of those?
So we have to make sure we have all the equipment, Coy, before we send the letter, because people will zoom right in and want to get there. Oh, of course they want to have their airbags corrected.
It's like when I'm watching TV, it's like 10 o'clock and they have a commercial and they'll say, coming up at 11 on the Channel 7 News, this item in your house could kill your children. Coming up at 11. I'm like, no, why don't you tell us right now?
Because I need to know. I don't have time till 12
in 1
minutes
hour, my kid could be dead.
Right. Let's move to entertainment. And once
come back as one of your relatives with a scarf on their head. Not auntie.
How does auntie look? And no filters on that cigarette.
No filters.
It doesn't even matter.
He's acting like his sister right now.
Oh, really?
That's Danielle.
What's your Danielle impression?
Smoke a whole cigarette, not an ash with drop on the ground.
That's an art form.
Coming up at 11.
Danielle behind the smoke. Last week we talked about a football player who got his undergraduate degree. Now check this out. Philadelphia Eagles quarterback Jalen Hurts, armed with a massive new 5-year contract. We've talked about that. That was written and brought to him by a Black woman, his female agent. So he's got a 5-year contract, making him a very wealthy man. In addition, he got his master's degree in human relations from the University of Oklahoma over the weekend. How great is that?
I mean, just doing everything right. So
everything.
That's
what I'm talking about.
Hold on. Yeah. Also, the head coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Todd Bowles, graduated today.
Did he?
And he's old. He's so old he majored in emancipation.
But thing.
But he did graduate today.
Congratulations. And that's a great example. Mm-hmm. That's a really great example.
That's awesome.
Hurts played 1 year at Oklahoma after transferring from the University of Alabama following his 2018 college season. He played for the Crimson Tide for 3 years and took that degree that he got from Oklahoma and parlayed it into, I'm sorry, some people don't like to use the word parlay, but then moved on to
what we call
master's program.
What we call it, Chris?
Parlay?
No, we call it roll it over.
And by the way, you Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans, I'd be worried. It's not a good sign that as soon as Tom Brady retires, your coach feels the need to go get his college degree. He's looking for something to fall back on after the season.
And probably not his offensive line.
Right.
Yeah. So it's now time for Yogi's Jewel. And today, consider practicing the principles of non-attachment for all you single fellas and ladies. Remember this: being open to what comes to you and being open when it leaves. So when it comes to you, be open, and when it's time to go, be open to that too. That is the practice of non-attachment. All right. Yes.
That's like get the hell out. My husband's about to be home. Get the hell out.
Myself.
Who you got in the HBCU NY Football Classic? The big game is coming up. We want you to know about it. Check this out. Marcel, you gonna be big?
Get ready for an epic showdown on September 16th as Morehouse and Albany State take the field for the Toyota HBCU NY Classic at MetLife Stadium.
Football season is back, and this is the game you can't miss.
Join us for the world's largest HBCU homecoming to experience the thrill of HBCU culture like never before.
Enjoy the ultimate celebration with a pregame tailgate, battle of the bands, and an iconic halftime show.
Don't wait. Get your tickets now at hbcunyclassic.com.
Who's got?
He's getting so big.
Oh
Yeah.
my gosh!
Aww.
Hey, Marcel. Hi.
Say hi.
It's like, what are we doing here?
Marcel
He's like,
who is
this what you in here talking to?
Yeah. Harpo, who this man? That for those that are listening, Chris
It's more like
Paul
doctor.
is holding his grandson. Oh, such a cutie, such a cute.
He said, this is what you in here doing this whole time every Monday?
Only thing missing is the beard on Marcel. Otherwise, they'd be the spitting image of each other.
Yeah.
Oh,
Aww.
I love it.
All
Absolutely.
right. Say
All right,
bye.
Papa. See you later. All right, you guys. We'll see you again soon.
See.
Thanks, Coy. And
y'all.
go out there and be
Good to
good
see
to
you.
each other.